Alright, so this is week 4A, what we call 3D photo move, and this is what your final outcome will look like. You'll notice it's a photo of Jordan McCabe from the basketball team, his name moving in the background, and he's being guarded by a defender. And we did a little work here and there ahead of time using Photoshop to cut the pieces out, um, just so we could get into the After Effects project a little bit faster. But this is what the final project should look like. I'm going to go ahead and start a new project and begin the process. So first thing we need to do is import our 2 layers that I should have sent you via WeTransfer this week. These are the 4 things I sent you. Those 2. And I want to make a new composition. I want it to be 5 seconds this week for this project anyhow. Same thing, HE 1080 1920 should be good to go. And I'm going to drag both layers into the timeline and make sure they are layered correctly. Obviously the back will be on the bottom and the top will be at the top. And I'm going to make sure this says fit to 200%. So now I want to make a 3D check mark with the top layer. And what that does is, and if you, you'll notice I'm not able to make the 3D check mark, so I have to go to toggle switches and modes. And I'm going to make it 3D. It's a 3D box now. I can do all kind of stuff with it. And so you'll notice with a 3D layer, there's all kind of stuff I can do. Now this photo itself was cut out. I cut Jordan out. And if I turn off the top layer, I'm going to turn off the top layer, you'll notice Jordan is cut out there, and I kind of masked the background there. And there's Jordan in the top layer alone by himself. So that gives us the ability to do 3D moves and stuff like that. So I've checkmarked my 3D box to make sure that the top layer is 3D. I'm going to add a camera now. So I'm going to go to Layer, New, Camera. I want it to be 50 millimeters. And it usually defaults to 50, but if you don't get a default 50 millimeter, make sure you change it. I'll click OK. And now I have this camera layer. And what a camera layer does is it works with anything that is checkmarked 3D layer. So I'm going to toggle my camera, make sure the CTI is at the beginning. I'm going to make a keyframe at position right there. I'm going to move the CTI all the way to the end and change the Z position of the camera to minus 2300. So this is the Z position, minus 2300. And now Jordan has moved closer. And it's just the camera that's doing this work. With the camera, it allows you to keep some depth into it as well as full resolution. Now I'm going to select the back layer in my timeline. Whoops. And I'm going to go Effect, Color Correction. I'm going to change that to black and white. So, everything except Jordan is in black and white. And I'm going to change the tint color from white to like a blue, because we're the Mountaineers. Maybe a lighter blue, maybe a darker blue, something like that. Or I can also do the hex code if I wanted to, which is 002855. Alright. CTIs, make sure it's at the beginning. Make a keyframe on scale. Transform. Scale. And then I want to move to the end. Change the scale to 96. So while Jordan's moving forward, the background shot is very subtly moving backwards. I'm going to blur the background a little bit. So Effect, Blur and Sharpen, Gaussian Blur. I'm going to change the level to 22. And now the defender is out of focus, further enhancing my foreground shot of Jordan McCabe. Alright, so now I'm going to select the text tool and I'm going to type Jordan. So up here, text, pick anywhere. And I want it to be in all caps. I'm going to move the text layer to the third position, which it already is, so it should. This is what your layer should look like. Change font size to 700. I've already got it at impact. Change it to 700. Enter. I'm going to align it vertically bottom, like that. I want it to be at the very bottom of the screen. Alright, so I'm going to use positions in here. I kind of want it just to see the end of the N. Position keyframe there until we can see the letter J, like that, so that it's moving, everything's moving. Now I'm going to control click on my text and it'll say pre-compose, and what that's going to do, pre-compose, and we're going to call this Jordan text comp. And what that's done is that's turned my text comp, or my text layer, into its own composition. So I'm going to double click my text comp, and now you will see that just the text comp is here working on its own. Whatever I do in this composition is going to affect it here in this timeline. I'm going to change the width of my text comp to 3000. So composition settings, width, I'm going to unlock it, 3000. Now I can see the whole word, even though it's still moving, but the width is 3000. The width of my original comp is 1920. I'll select this text here in the timeline. Control click, come up with layer styles. Do that again. So control click, layer styles, and I'm going to change it to gradient overlay. In my gradient overlay, come down here, toggle it, colors, edit gradient. The bottom color is white. I'm going to change this top color from, and this is important, so the bottom color we're going to keep white, but this top color I'm going to change it to gold. And our gold is E88800. So there you go. Got a gold to white gradient. Alright, moving back to my McCabe moving comp, or my original comp, or comp 1. I want to go to Effect, Perspective, and Bevel Alpha. And what that's going to do is going to give it a hard edge. I'm going to change the edge thickness to 18. And see what that did? It gave it kind of a hard edge there. And now I'm going to roughen the edges of Jordan McCabe just to kind of give his image a little bit of separation. Select the Jordan top layer. Selecting the Jordan top layer, Effect, Stylize, Roughen Edges. So now I need to roughen color. And now I can change my edge type to white. And I'm going to change the border to 8.0. It looks like it already is for me. I'm going to crank it up a little bit. You'll notice you'll have a white border around Jordan himself. So keeping an eye on Jordan as I turn the effect off, on, off, on. It's maybe a little too much, so I'll change it back to 8. So off, on, off, on. And he's very subtly separated nonetheless, success. There you go. I would recommend definitely reading through the lesson on the Word doc that I sent. A couple notes there as well. But, if you have questions, text me, obviously. Good luck, and let me know if you have any problems.